You're unique, you're special, you're very different. Everything about you stands out. Why do you still look around and wish to be somebody else? When you have all it takes to be the inspiration that gets everybody on their toes, finding their own unique voice. Welcome to another beautiful podcast. And today I thought to share from my heart. We live in a world where people want to be other people, but they forget they only see a glimpse of what it takes to be that person. Imagine if you knew everything about that person. Really, would you still want to be that person? I don't think so. Because nobody knows the fight that everybody goes through behind closed doors. Nobody knows the true story behind that bright smile that takes the room and holds everybody in focus. Nobody knows the tears that are within, the laughter that allows everyone to giggle and really have fun. Nobody knows the silent trials that each person goes through and still have the courage to hold their head up high, like nothing really is happening. If you really knew the other side of everybody you admired, of everybody you thought you should be like, I think you would take a long walk and not look back. Because you know why? You're enough. Everything about you is so special. Your voice is the music that no other person can reproduce. It's just you. Your thoughts, nobody can come close to arranging it the way it comes natural to you. Your creativity, where do we start from? It stands out. It has a signature that sings and talks you to the very end. Your outlook about life, a conversation we cannot really have. Because of that outlook, you've stood tall. Against stormy days, you've stood tall. Against raging, boisterous storms, you've stood tall. Against all the things naysayers had to say, whether it was true or it wasn't true, you stood tall. Against the obstacles that suddenly came your way and didn't ask for your permission, but they wanted to drag the time you had. And you took each and every one of them with an inner courage till you saw it become your advantage and the leverage in which you live life so beautifully. Indeed, would you really want to be somebody else? As you've got to this point of the conversation, I don't think so. Is it the silent conversations you have within yourself to cheer yourself up for each day and take it as a brand new slate? Not to regret your past, but to learn from your past and be brighter than what you were yesterday, so that the shadows of yesterday do not even have the slightest idea on how to dim your light, because they can't. Because what should have kept you stuck, you've used it to walk. What should have caged you, you've used it to soar. What should have brought you down, You've used it to tell the most incredible story. And that we now say, what a faith he or she has. I wish I have like them. But what we forget is that what you have become today didn't just come at one sweep. It took every day of all the days you've been on earth to come to the place you are today. The paths that you crossed with fearless boldness. You took the steps that made prints. They told their own story once, never to be replayed. What a life that you have lived. Every piece of your story has a place that is so unique that others would have walked away, others would have quit, but you didn't. Is it that you didn't have the option to? You had, but you told yourself something. The seed underneath the ground never gives up. No matter the time it takes, it keeps coming up till when it's able to hold itself and become the beauty that amazes us. And on that beauty, you've told yourself you would live your life not on the excuses of people, not on the apologies that people think they should offer on your behalf, but you will live life like the sun that is never bothered about the shadows that always stay behind. I applaud you today. I celebrate you today because you are a beacon of light. You're a source of raw inspiration. I do not really know your whole story, but the little I know about you, it gives me chills. It makes me know that God is always on time. That God writes the story better than any of us can tell our stories. I applaud you today. I applaud you always seeing the best side of life. I applaud you that even when you've been betrayed, you never changed who you were. You stayed true to yourself. You kept being generous. You kept being very thankful and appreciative of every day. And you knew, without a shadow of doubt in your heart, that you did not come this far of your own abilities, but you came this far due to the graces of God that has been extended to you. And on that note, you have a conviction that nothing can bring you down. Of a truth, nothing can bring you down. For in life, the only competition you have is the competition with yourself. Because you're only the one that knows how far you want to go. No other person has an idea. They may have clues. It's just clues. But with you, you have a blueprint. And I can tell you, your blueprint starts with you having intimacy with God. The way you understand intimacy to be. And the way you flourish with such intimacy. Because when you have a relationship with God, you understand life blueprint. And every step you take becomes the print that adds value to you and makes you the best version of you in that hour, in that minute, in that second, in that day. I thought to just encourage you today and tell you, I don't know how the year has been for you up to now, But one thing I would tell you, don't give up on yourself. If the seed got tired as it was underneath the ground, the beautiful landscape we have today will not be here. They didn't give up. Instead, they kept coming forth. And from the day they came forth, and we could see them, they have blossomed to trees with histories, landscape with beauty. Tell your story. Do not take away your scars. Do not take away your betrayal. Do not take away your expressions of emotions that went into rage. Take every piece of your story, own it, and value it. Because every piece of that story up till now has allowed us to see the best version of you in now and has given us a glimpse into you. One that I applaud you for, one that I celebrate you for, because you might never know you have inspired me to put my best foot forward. And thank you for that inspiration. It is priceless. Nothing can ever take its place. Thank you for it. If you learned something from this podcast, kindly share it in the comment section. Thank you for your beautiful support to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. And thank you for leaving a comment. Stay blessed till we meet next time. Thank you so much.